All right, and next up we have Cameron C. Shinoy versus Sonofgren. Two relative newcomers to the competitive scene. I'm not sure how many other tournaments they've been in, but I know this is the first time that I have been casting both of them. Looks like they were both 2-0 at this point when we were casting them in round 3. Again, I am casting with Sparkling Iced Tea, my man. And this is for the Maverick Tournament League. So, as always, to you guys, if you guys want to check out this tournament in the future, link to the Discord will be below. There's always lots of stuff going on in the Discord. And on top of the tournaments, I know right now there's also a race to Masters that will be happening starting tomorrow when the ladder ranks reset. So, definitely check it out if you guys want. But until then, for now, we have round 3. Cameron C. Shinoy versus Sonofgren. Let's just get into the gameplay. All right, so Sonofgren, I actually did just pull up his deck. So we got, okay, also Burn. He is not going the... God, what's that card's name again? The Imperial, the 4-drop, draw 2. We literally just talked about it. The one that draws more cards when you play a 2-cost card.
Oh, the Insightful Investigator.
Insightful Investigator. Wow, Jesus, brain fart. Okay, so he is not going the Insightful Investigator route. He is playing Endure, which, who would have guessed it? And then we have typical elusives. We got the good old school Omen Hawk 3 of, and the rest are... you know, Zed, all that good elusive stuff. So,
yeah, that deck had a lot of success in the last 2 weeks, I think. For example, Tilted used it to win the first Unit League qualifier. And overall, on ladder, we've seen it reach high ranks again. Now, the Endure list is kind of basic. By the way, on Cameron Shinoy's side, we also see Endure. Also running a Sejuani. So that's probably for the mirror match, right?
that's the first thing I thought when you mentioned Sejuani originally. I imagine it is for the mirror match. We are getting into game 1 here, as it does look like Cameron did get started up. I can't see any other reason to play the Sejuani as They Who Endure deck. And even then, I feel like I wouldn't really want to play it in the mirror match. I'd rather go all out on just a They Who Endure strategy and possibly... I don't know, play enough. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's just better options in the mirror match other than Sejuani. Maybe even a third Atrocity. I feel like I'd rather play than a Sejuani.
Yeah, especially because Elise having Elise early is super important. Even more important if you're playing against Burn. You do want to have the early board, and you do want to be able to finish your opponent fast before he finishes you, because that's the only way you win against Burn if you're playing Endure. We see a classic Burn turn 2 drop here, the 2/3. Ooh, okay. Sacrificing a 1/1 spider. That's definitely tells me that Sonofgren just wants to get ahead on board and just wants to be able to kind of overrun Cameron, because that's, as I said, the only way you win this.
Yeah, sorry, I'm pulling up Cameron's deck list as well, just so I know what the heck he's playing. Card for card, anyways, that is. So
okay.
This is what so this is the Swain deck that he's playing, right? He has two copies of Swain in here. Okay. This is not exactly like the deck that I was talking about earlier with you that you were kind of piloting as the Swain Ezreal deck. Obviously there's 3 Ezreals in the other deck usually. I'm trying to think of why he wouldn't just go that route and do what he's doing here with just the 2 of Swain.
Yeah, so overall he's running a bit slower than usual Burn decks, but he still kind of wants to go fast. Yeah, I don't know. So
it seems counterproductive, right? The Swain and the Insightful Investigator.
No, yeah, definitely. Also, if you run Swain, you do want to run ways to kind of get Swain through. You have the Burn here, but usually with Burn decks, what just happens is that once come turn 6 or 7, you don't have any cards in hand, So you can't trigger your Swain if you don't have enough cards to hit your opponent's Nexus. So most of the time, I think you actually want to win without Swain rather than with Swain.
So that makes sense. Yeah. Let's play cards that we don't want to draw. That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm just as confused as you are, to be honest with you with that. I just don't really see. But hey, maybe he'll prove us wrong here. He top decks the Swain for the victory later. Who knows? But right now, Sonofgren is off to a hell of a start. That is a big board, and I'm not sure. Like, all the damage in the world is not going to prevent Cameron from just losing to more damage on Sonofgren's side at this point.
No. So the problem right here is that the burn deck right now is on the basically the losing side of the matchup right now, because after this you're most likely on like 8 health and your opponent will be on 13. So actually dropping something like the used cask salesman is kind of scary for you, because there is the atrocity on your opponent's side, so there is actually burst from a burn from hand.
Yeah, and I was Spiritus in the chat just mentioned too. He's like Bunker rookie in 2K20. It's so bad now he didn't even play it on turn 2.
Yeah,
yeah, it feels bad when you're staring down 3 threes. I'll tell you that much. It's a very big difference, that 4 health from 3 health, and you can see why with the board that Sonofgren's developed right here.
Oh, yeah, definitely if your opponent plays 1 mana 3 threes.
Yeah. Kind of. Why play a 2 mana 1/3 when you can just play a 1 mana 3/3? Duh.
Yeah. Just doesn't make sense. No, but what we see here is that he at least gets 1 good block in with the Crimson.
I mean,
so that means
he has the progress dates. Like, this just seems like such an awkward deck. I'd be curious to see. It's almost like he built a burn deck, and then he's like, all right, in those like sometimes matchups where I need an extra 2 turns worth of like cards, let's throw in some Swain and a progress day, and hopefully that'll get me towards, you know, that 8th or 9th turn that I need for victory. But I don't know, because even at 13 health, it's gonna be. I'm hard pressed to figure out how Cameron actually gets the remainder of his damage without just dying, because he can't just play progress day.
Yeah. So I mean, Progress Day here can like be used to just find more burn, so more spells, which means that he might be able to just literally burn his opponent down in a way where he just uses spells to kill his opponent. The problem with that is that you do have to have enough mana to play Progress Day this turn, which probably means you can't use any burn spell this turn, and then you have to have enough mana to play enough burn spells next turn to kill your opponent from 11.
Yeah, like I think Decimate has to come out this turn. I think he needs to actually live through next turn. If he can live through next turn somehow, I think he can win. But even if he like static shocks both sentries, I guarantee Sonofgren probably has like another unit to throw down. And he's already representing 7 damage on the board. And you know, Cameron doesn't really have much to block with, so I don't know. It's gonna be hard. I do think at this point, I don't know. I feel like, do you play the Decimate? Do you just use all 9 mana and then what is he on 10 mana next turn?
Okay, so I think I agree with this. You can draw like a blocker, like he just drew, because your 1-drops will be 0 mana and your 2s will be 1 mana, and you do have a lot of 2-cost cards in your deck. Oh, you hate to see it.
Yeah, that's not good.
So he actually has a way of dealing with like 2 attackers next turn by using the static shock, so he might be able to survive next turn, and then he can use his 2 decimates and a few other cards to actually kill his opponent.
This leads me to believe there might be a They Who Endure in his hand if Sonofgren's doing that right there, which means he's just going to have game next turn. And the problem is he can't even really use Cast Salesman, I think, to block, because he might just kill himself, depending on how the blocks line up here.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. This is weird though. This would tell me that there isn't an Endure in the hand of Sonofgren, because you would do want that to die. Yeah, there isn't.
Yeah, that seems weird. I don't know why he did what he did there, just to get like the extra 2/1 and 1/1. So I mean, he might just be trying to go really wide to push more damage.
Yeah, But the weird thing is, if he maybe you thought about, okay, maybe I top deck an Endurance, then I want to obviously buff it with the bird. But that doesn't make sense because if your ephemeral unit would have just died, it would have also buffed the Endure for 1/1.
Yeah, so I think you're right. I don't think he's on Endure. Otherwise, it would. I think he would have just like insta dropped it because that's just game for the most part.
Mm.
Because let's see, if he were to play Decimate, even a 4-mana Decimate still leaves him. He'd still be 1 damage short of just burning him out. Ooh, ooh. That's and as when I was playing, I've played Dehu Endure a lot on ladder. That's like the card that you want in burn matchups. Like the second you draw Neverglade, you feel so much safer. It's ridiculous, and I am not sure if Cameron can come back from that now.
Well, it makes blocks super awkward because now he actually can't kill units with his blocks. He does have the cast, so you can use those to maybe avoid blocking here. Okay, so actually, do you use the cast actually to block the low health units so the opponent's Never Collector doesn't trigger?
Yeah, I think you would block the lower health units with the cask, and then you can block the 4/4 with like a 3/2 or something like that. And you could even you could block the 3/3 with the Crimson Disciple. So then you could actually block everything minus the Aversion Keeper. You could save, 1 unit for basically the Noxian Fervor, and not kill anything. So yeah, I do agree with you. I'm surprised he's blocking the way that he is.
Okay, wait. This is interesting. Maybe he actually doesn't care. So what we see here is that next turn he actually just has lethal, like 2 of the 3 decimates he has in hand, and he will have enough mana to play 2 decimates.
Yeah, we're worried about the board state, and we're just ignoring the fact that there's these 3 spells in his hand that just wreck his opponent. So
he is playing burn. He's playing even more burn deck than burn decks usually play burn. He's playing like a magic burn deck where you just actually use spells to kill your opponent.
Oh wow, he might actually pull this out. All right, so a Vile Feast would save Sonofgren.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it, right? So.
Well, there's also Atrocity, and there's also another.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, anything that sacrifices stuff just saves him here.
Oh, that's a good point. Even like a glimpse on something.
Yeah, glimpse. Oh, yeah, that's too real.
That's what I'm saying, man. Neverglade Collector is just so good.
Yeah. Wait, that's actually. Oh my god.
Like that deck doesn't even need Neverglade Collector. Like it does good without it. It's just like this extra card that just is so good.
Yeah. Well, now Cameron is in top deck mode again. He can still win this if he top decks enough burn next turn. So right now the only thing. Okay, so now he actually needs to top deck.
I don't think he can. Yeah,
no,
he can't.
Maybe you can.
No, he's gonna heal for 2 more. He's gonna go up to 5. Plus, he's gonna die anyways. He's gonna die to the 2 saplings.
Yeah, never mind. Dude, that was actually the play. Yeah, playing Caretaker there is OP.
That's why I think that Neverglade needs a change, because the point of the deck is to win by They Who Endure, but the percentage times that I've played against the They Who Endure deck where they actually just win because of Neverglade is ridiculous, and I don't think that card... You shouldn't be able to have 2 win conditions like that are just so good.
And so reliable.
Yeah, it's so reliable.
It's insane. Sonofgren was like, get burned.
Yeah. Oh, man. Let me update this match score real quick. So, we are down 0-1 right now. Yeah, I like how we just ignored the fact that Decimates were even, in existence that whole time. Oh, wait, yeah. He has enough damage to kill him by, 12.
And then cool. Can the Croco.
Yep. And it's interesting. I've seen Croc be put in this deck a lot more often than I thought now, and everybody jokes about a 4-mana 7/7 because of Hearthstone and all that fun stuff, but it's actually not a bad card. It's really not, and it's funny because it's not a bad card, and you literally have to kill 2 units to summon it. That's how broken a just 4-mana 7/7 actually is.
Yeah. Now, by the way, we see the Boon Crew rookie on board. It's okay if your opponent only has a 1/1. But in this matchup, it again is about who finishes his opponent faster. And the thing is, you might think that the burn deck just gets the job done way, way faster, but sometimes it happens that the classic elusive deck just draws the nuts and just runs you over, especially if they have that Z and Green Glide Duo.
Yeah, I think Spiritus is ahead of you in chat too, saying that, you know, is he getting the Zixo not opening here? And I mean, that's
It wasn't the nut opening.
it doesn't look like it, so I think he's fine. I think Cameron C is fine, but I do still think that the Ionia deck has the advantage here in this matchup. It's just going to depend kind of on his draws. Honestly, right now, it doesn't look like Sonofgren's drawing that well. Yeah, now at Green Glade Duo, it doesn't look to be the greatest hand, so Cameron might still be in this.
Yeah, so the thing is, you wanted the Green Glide Duo on 2. So it actually wasn't the nuts draw because you didn't have a 2-drop, which is super important in the matchup. So
yeah, and Cameron, you could argue Cameron has the nuts here because he has the Imperial Crimson. So it's always feels good to get a nice clean 4 damage off. And there's the Will of Ionia.
Oh, get no damage off.
Yeah, never mind. 0 damage. We're just talking about how ridiculous that card is.
Yeah, you can kind of see it in Cameron's face. That you don't like to see that.
Yeah, now, I mean, that definitely changes things. It's going to be a little bit harder for Cameron to finish him off here, but oof, that's rough. That's
actually nuts.
Yeah, that's a clean 6 damage on that Green Glade Duo, though. Now, what's going to feel really bad here is that dreaded card that everybody hates at 1 mana, Elixir of Iron, that you, just can't play around. Like, it's impossible.
Yeah, you just have to commit here. If you don't, then what are you doing? But it feels bad in multiple ways. Okay, I actually might agree doing this instead of the Static Shock, because if he would do the Static Shock play, the problem is he's actually playing a turn where he's not damaging his opponent's face as a burn deck.
Yep.
And I don't know if you can afford that.
He might just need to commit to just doing damage. Like, just go all in and not worry about removal. And, I mean, usually when you're in matchups like this, especially a burn deck, you kind of do just have to go one way or the other. You need to choose. Are you going all face, or are you going to try to remove your opponent's options? And I think he's so far behind in trying to get rid of his opponent's elusives, that is the right decision. I think he just needs to focus on going face.
Yep. And, if he does, block like this, he isn't dying, and he does damage his opponent. Now, we don't see direct burn in his hand. Static Shock is only 1 damage, and the 2-drop has to get through, which, if there's another Will of Ionia, it just won't.
Yeah, that Will of Ionia was really... I mean, that saved Sonofgren.
Yeah.
Big time. Because he would be at 3, and this whole game would be entirely different. Yeah, see, that would be game right there. So right now, he can actually do 6 damage as it currently stands.
Yeah, so you can do a cheeky trick here where you play... No, you can't. Wow, this is actually such a hard turn. So your only direct damage right now is that Fervor, and then your 3-1 dying. But at least, if your opponent now plays Will of Ionia on the 3-1, you can actually Noxian Fervor it and push 5 damage.
Yeah, it's pretty much a guaranteed 5 damage. The other thing, too, is this is going to force a block by Sonofgren, depending on what he plays, on the Precious Pet by the Zed or the Green Glade Duo, which could... I mean, that could matter big time, depending on what else is in Sonofgren's hand. We obviously can't see that. All right, so... Ooh. Okay, so yeah, that's still going to stand. So it's if he has another elusive in his hand that he can attack with next turn, that should just be game anyways. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if this turn doesn't end in Sonofgren dying, next turn will end in Sonofgren kind of winning.
And Sonofgren obviously doesn't want to preemptively play the will, and if he does, I think he just straight loses, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Wait. No. No, he actually willed the correct target.
Yeah. Whoa, okay.
So wait. So that means, ooh. So there's no way for Cameron to actually...
win this round, but he still has a chance to win next round. So he can play Static Shock, which also won't kill his opponent, but might draw him a card that will kill his opponent. So yeah, basically has 2 draws next turn to win the game.
Yeah, wow. So good heads up play by Sonofgren here by willing the Precious Pet. You know, a lot of people would think to will the Legion Rearguard, you save an elusive unit, you save 2 damage, theoretically, but a Noxian Fervor on it is a quick way to lose the game. So good heads up play on his part. And wow.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's...
I don't know if I agree with this. There are multiple ways for your opponent to get the 4 damage through next turn, especially because you only have 1 blocker now, and he just needs to find 2 elusive units.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that either. I mean, that's... The only way I would agree with that is if he has some sort of read on his opponent's hand. But, I mean, that's 2 damage.
Yeah, so you need to... Well, you can't actually win this turn.
He would have won if he did the other play that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, he would have won. Oof.
Wow. That's rough. I mean, wait, what did he just... That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Oh, that does.
I don't even... What just... The last 2 turns right there? No. I don't know what I just saw. That's not cool.
So, there we have it. The 4-mana spell that we talked about. It actually is just such a good card in this game.
Yeah, that whole Fury of the North thing, man, is really... it's just really OP. And I do like how you mentioned earlier, just attributing it to Magic the Gathering a little bit, because I do think that's very interesting. I mean, I've played damn near at this point every card game that there is, even things like Yu Hakusho and Inuyasha, RIP. They're no longer in existence, Dragon Ball Z, and yeah, it's cool because everybody, I think, across multiple card games are like, all right, 4 mana equals 4/4, 3 mana equals draw 2. Like, there's certain like things that just kind of stay amongst all card games, and yeah, that's a key difference right there. That a 4 mana 4/4 for just 1 turn is so freaking strong in this game.
Yeah, and I think on this side you just had to take the risk, you know. I think if you play a burn deck and you play against another aggressive deck, you can't play around lethal. You just have to try and get lethal yourself.
Yeah.
If you're playing to actually hinder your opponent getting lethal, you're kind of losing anyway. It's losing play.
All right, and that'll do it for round 3. So until next time when we have what comes after 3, I do believe it's 4. So until then, everybody stay healthy, stay positive. I hope shit just works for you, and peace out.